Well, here we go. This is Mark from Little Elm High School. And Mark has been found by Crystal. So let me tell you the story on this class ring. Oh, but wait, before I tell you, I've got my Tom and Jerry shirt. It's a Christmas shirt, but I wear my shirts whenever I want, right? You know, doesn't have to be Christmas time. Anyway, so for many, many years, I was collecting Tom and Jerry, everything Tom and Jerry. And I had from ties, pillowcases, sheets, coloring books, uh, little glass jars, pictures, and punch bowls, and things to put on the wall, posters. I mean, you name it, I had it. Baby bibs, baby bottles, and anyway, and somebody gave me this for Christmas. I think it was last year. Anyway, I just just wearing it today. Just I like it. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about Mark's ring. So Mark's ring I bought. I want to say I think 2 years ago, and I got it on Facebook Marketplace, and you know I had seen it on there for a good 2 weeks, right? And nobody had purchased it, and finally, I had money, and I messaged the guy and I said, "Hey, I want to buy that class ring." He goes, "Sure, okay." And luckily, he was here in San Antonio where I live. So one night, um, me and my best friend, we went. We were gonna go eat, and I said, "Let's go drop by that guy's house so I can pick up that class ring." And sure enough, we went, right. And the guy had it. He gave it to me. He says, "Yeah, it's a real nice ring. Little Elm High School, 1984, and their mascot are the Lobos, like a wolf." So yeah, and when a small little story to go with that, I said, "Yeah, so where did you find it?" And he says, "Oh yeah, I found it at a thrift store just around the corner." And I said, "Oh, okay, cool, cool." And so when we left, I told my roommate, I said, and my friend, I said, "Let's go to that thrift store. Maybe they might have more." So we were driving around, right? And we couldn't find one. And we saw this little strip mall, right? And there was a whole bunch of little shops. And then I saw one that looked like a thrift store, right? So I told my friend, I said, let's stop by. Let's stop by. Maybe they might have class rings. So we stopped by, right? And I mean, it didn't really have like a sign or anything. It just had like a bunch of used things inside, right through the window. It was a little bit dark too because it was kind of in the evening. So I get off and I go to the door. I pull on the door. It's locked. It's closed. And then this lady comes to the door and she goes, "Yes, may I help you?" I said, "Oh, is this a thrift store?" And she looks at me like, "What? How dare you?" I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I just thought it was a thrift. Some guy told me that there was a thrift store around here, and I thought this was one." She goes, "Oh, no, no, no. We are not a thrift store. We sell nice things." Hey, thrift store sells nice things too. I didn't say that, but I mean, I was like, so, so then, okay, so we went home, right? And then when I got home, I started looking for the owner of this class ring, and I couldn't find him. It's hard. It's hard to find, people, And so I kept looking and looking and nothing. I go to the alumni pages and nothing. And, you know, so, I kind of like just put it back in my ring box and I just said, well, okay, I'll look for him another time. Well, last week I went back on Facebook and I tried again and I went to the Little Elm alumni groups, right? From the class of 1984, which is this ring. And I posted on their alumni page, and didn't hear any feedback or anything. So then I saw this one person. No, no, no. In my group, my Facebook group, there was a member who was looking for her class ring, and right by her picture, it says right by the profile picture, it says like the city you're from, and it's at Little Elm City or Little Elm, Texas. And I was like, hey, maybe she knows this guy or knows somebody or can help. So I reached out to her. Her name is Crystal. And I asked her, I said, hey, do you live in Little Elm? Are you from Little Elm? She goes, oh, no, but we live there. And I said, well, I was wondering, do you want to help me find the owner to this guy, this classroom, because he went to Little Elm High School. And she just went, sure, I'll help you. I'd love to help you. I'm from here and I know a lot of contacts. I'll start working on it. So I gave her all the information, gave her the initials, the name, and the school, and the year, and all that. A day passed by. 1 day passed by. And she says, I got good news. I'm so, so excited. She says, I think I really found him. And I mean, I was shocked. I was surprised, but I think I found him. I'm just waiting for him to respond. And so we waited a day. And then finally the next day she says, I think I found him. I think 99% that I found him. Um, well, we found his mother. She still lives in the same house where he lived when he was in high school. And so sure enough, she spoke to the parents, and then she got in contact with Mark, and I think he lives somewhere in Texas, uh, not too far from where his hometown is. And so she spoke to him on the phone and told him that I had his class ring and they were looking for him. And yeah, so she made arrangements and she's supposed to meet him possibly by Saturday, which is Halloween, because he's coming in to visit with his family. And Yeah, and so then after she made contact with him and everything, then I told her, I said, well, I'd like to speak to him, before I send the class ring. I said, I just want to let you know that, um I just have to find I just let to know I need to know some certain things about you know this class ring and him, and questions, right? And so sure enough, we she gave me his phone number and I called him, and he called me back and we started talking, and I told him, this is what I do. I buy the class rings and I return them. And he was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And he goes, okay, so how can I get it back and this and that? So we made arrangements and he's going to get his class ring back. And yeah, I was already packing it up to mail it out tomorrow. And that's it. So I just wanted to share with you. Let me show the close up of this class ring, as I always do. Little Elm, Texas. Do y'all know where Little Elm is? His name is Mark with the Lobos. And there's 1984. A lot of times people will tell me, oh, it's a long shot. I don't think I'll ever find my class ring. I graduated in 1980. It's been over 30 years. Even older class rings, like in the 70s or 60s. But I always tell them, don't give up hope, because you don't know, somebody might have it like me, and they're just waiting. They're looking for you, or they're trying to find you, or what have you. And maybe, you're going to get it back, but just don't give up hope. I have this little saying. I put on Facebook or on some of their messages. I just say HHKTF, which stands for have hope, keep the faith. And that's what I tell them, because you never, never know that your class ring will show up. All right, that's the story of Mark's class ring. And thanks to Crystal, she was a big helper. And that's about it. So he'll be getting his class ring back. There it is. There's a Lobo inside. Little Elm. Mark. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to my story. And y'all go out there and find some class rings and return them to their owners. It's a great feeling. All right. Thank you all very much for watching these videos.